I really wish people could see you dancing. I can see
Can
your
you
little
see
box.
me
I can see your little box over there.
I
While
didn't know. I didn't know you could see me dancing because I can't see you. What if I have I ever like picked my nose or anything? Or
Several
ever done
times.
anything embarrassing? I
Several
did not
times.
know you could see me. I was over here like dancing with like this, all by myself. These
Oh,
little. I thought it was just me, myself, and I dancing, but really it was just Chris watching me, myself, and I dance is creepy. I don't like that.
I mean, it makes you feel any better. The box is really little, so I can't. And there's like a little button over the top of your face, so you kind of can see you, but I can see your arms waving wildly. I was like, oh, Allison's dancing in the corner over there.
Yeah, well, what's new? That's how I was at dances growing up. There's Allison dancing in the corner. Middle school.
Wait, and what? Hold on, wait. What were you doing?
Like, no, I said that's like middle school dances. Like,
So
here
you
I am.
just-
No, I didn't. I was cooler than that. Give me some credit.
Okay, I need to ask you this because I've clearly stated, and you probably already knew, I wasn't cool in middle school, high school,
What?
elementary school.
No.
Hard to believe.
This is brand
It's
new
a revelation.
information.
Breaking news. Chris was not cool. But what was your opinion of yourself? Do you believe that you were you were cool?
Oh, this is a really good question. I guess my opinion was I wasn't like in the cool crowd, but I feel like the cool crowd was doing things that would like could possibly like get me arrested. So I wasn't
What were they doing?
like drinking and stuff. Like they were underage drinking, just like partying.
Do you get
things
arrested
like
for
that.
underage drinking?
I mean, you could
Again,
get
that
a
wasn't cool, Allison.
minor
So I
in
don't know.
possession and MIP. Anyway, so which is different than a VIP. Oh, don't do the womp womp. Don't do it. Don't make that noise on your little radio booth buttons. Anyway, so there it is. There it is. Anyway, so I definitely was like very involved. I was the person that, I mean, I've told you this story. I smile when I'm nervous. And so I was always smiling because if I was nervous, I would smile. So I'd walk down the halls like smiling at everyone. So I had friends in like all different groups, if that makes any sense.
I can see that. I can see that. You seem like the type of person who can just like bounce around to different groups of people that all accept you.
Exactly. So I was very involved. Like I was involved in sports. I was involved in like NHS. I was involved in PALS. I got
Okay, so what is that?
with,
We had ASB. That's the only thing I know of.
What is that?
It's the people who do all the stuff, like they do like all the events, they make the banners and
I didn't do
the
any
pep
of that
rallies and I
That
don't
was
know
like the
what ASB does.
cheerleaders. That was like, so NHS was National Honor Society. Y'all didn't have
Oh,
that?
fancy.
Oh, fancy.
Clearly, I wasn't a good enough student to know about that.
So for NHS, I was the person in charge of like taking all the pictures. What do they call that? I don't know, some fancy word for basically a photographer, and like being like the person that like got everyone to smile and have fun. And I took my role historian. Thank you, Angie.
Historian?
The historian. Yes.
So, you're like in charge of taking pictures of what's going on throughout the year?
Yeah. And then at the end of the year, like putting together a slideshow. I think I made every person like a CD. I downloaded all the images of the year on a CD for every person and gave it to them our senior year.
You were involved.
I was. And then I was in PALS, which is Peers Assisting blah, blah, Success. And
what?
I don't know. I don't know what PALS stands for, but
People
PALS
always
learning something.
Seriously.
And so we would actually go to elementary schools and we would like once a week, I want to say. It was a class, like it was a class you were in, you had to try out for it and all this stuff. And we would read with children. And so they would like give kids that needed like, you know, just like an extra boost and maybe reading help, kind of things like that. We would read with kids. They would come to us with books and we'd like do arts and crafts with them. And then we did things around the school. And then I started actually a club my junior year with my friend Christy. And then our senior
started a club?
Yeah, we started a club. And it was called like it was something, I can't remember what the name of it was, but it was like Random Acts of Kindness. And so it was like doing random acts of kindness in our community and around our school. And then our senior year, we quit because we didn't like the politics that were involved in it.
People were getting bought off and like, no, you got to make sure you do random act of kindness for this person over here.
And then I was on the varsity soccer team But like I had a brother. My brother was only a year older than me, so I also knew all of his friends and his group, and so I kind of bounced around.
Yeah,
I
you were
was
popular.
awarded.
I would
I
say you
wouldn't
were
say it was
popular.
popular because I wasn't like invited to everything, but I was awarded the
You were popular enough.
like at the end of the year they vote for like awards. I wasn't like the prettiest or most likely succeed. I was voted helping hands.
Wait, hold on. What is
I got
helping
the Helping
hands?
Hands Award. I don't know, just I'll help people, which is very fitting because I'm a type 2 Enneagram, the helper.
Helping hands.
Helping Hands Award.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
I don't know what
So
that means, but yeah.
we need a clap.
Do we? Oh, we
Speaking of
used to.
hands,
Okay, I was trying to look up something, but I can't find it.
what are you trying to look up?
So you were talking about sports, and I was like, I've been trying for the hardest to find a picture. I used to do discus in high school.
Is that like
And
disc golf?
no,
No,
it's like
discus is when you throw the disc really
you throw
far.
the big metal frisbee. The discus and
So
shot
you
put.
played frisbee.
But you don't throw it like a frisbee. Anyways, I had a picture,
Okay.
but I cannot find it at all. I don't know. I don't even know where to find this.
I don't know if I
So
have a picture of me playing soccer. I know I have one somewhere. I don't have a good spot of like keeping all of those things.
no, not at all.
I don't have like a photo album. I should have an album on my phone that's like my past or something. I
Yeah,
don't
you
know.
really should. You really should.
The past never actually leaves. I don't know. What should we name it? Never forget. That's what I should have it say.
Allison, never forget. This is what you. You
Never.
know what? I really. You know what? I think we should share those photos again. Of
Oh,
those
here.
those stock photos you had of you and your friends like fake laughing. Remember you would go around
No.
fake laughing and taking photos. Your mom would take photos of you. I'm like,
No, don't. Wasn't that a Patreon only thing? Let's not bring that up. This is for everyone. Here, I am going to send you this picture of
oh,
me in high
Michelle said, call the album Blackmail.
blackmail. Did I send this to you? I'm trying to send this to you, but you're not coming up on my like text message list.
You're like, I've deleted you from my contacts list. Sorry, Chris.
Exactly. Don't you forget it. Okay, I'm going to send this to you real quick and you can pull it up because I don't know how to do that on my end.
You want to share this?
You can if you want. This was
the
me in
world
high
to see?
school. This was my senior year.
Oh my goodness.
What?
Look at little
This
Allison.
was my high school photo of my senior year
Okay, can I share
varsity
this?
soccer picture.
I really hope I can share this. Let's see.
What's wrong with it? You make it sound
No,
like
it's not bad. It's just
embarrassing.
little Allison. Let's see. Well, I got to share my whole screen. People don't read all the stuff on my
Uh-oh.
screen.
Don't
okay?
everyone look at his emails.
Look at my emails. Don't look at my text messages and emails, okay? All right, let me hide this stuff. Okay, here we go. I can show you this much now. All right, so
Okay,
this
let's see.
is little Allison here.
This is senior year Allison. This is like 17-year-old Allison. That's me.
Oh, look at her.
I was number 4 on the soccer team, which is why my personal email address has a number 4 in it.
See, I need to find my photos. So, were you good at soccer?
I mean,
Oh, you
I
just
was,
there? Were you just around?
No, I was good enough to start every game, but our team wasn't good. And I was on a club team. So I wasn't like the
Oh, so this
person
was not the
that
high
was-
school team. Right here.
This is the high school team. So I played high school varsity soccer for 3 years. And then
Oh.
I played club soccer for 3 or 4 years. So I would have like, so I played soccer like constantly. That was my sport. So I was a defender. Like I wasn't ever like going and like making goals, but I wasn't like the best on the team, but I was good enough to start the team. How about that?
I don't even know the rules of soccer. I've never played other than like randomly kicking a ball at like
So if you
recess in the grass.
Ever
field.
play? What I want you to always do is every time you get the ball, when you're heading towards the goal, what happens is on every second minute, the goals change and you actually have to turn around and shoot in the opposite goal.
I know at least that much is
So
wrong.
I want you to do that next time you play soccer and let's see what happens.
I know at least that much is wrong. I do have. I shared this. Okay, I don't have a picture of me playing sports, but I do have this photo. It's
Uh-oh,
of
where is
me
it? Is
and
this like
Logan.
Oh, Logan. Is
Us
he here
in
today?
is this? So we went to different high schools, but we graduated the same
Mhm.
day. Our graduation was on the exact same
Oh,
day.
so y'all have pictures here.
So this is
Oh,
us.
Look at
before our high
you
school
with your
graduation.
glasses. I'm so jealous.
Do you see this hair on the top of my head? Do you see this?
Oh, that was just like a shadow, right? Isn't that like a shadow casting down on you?
It's a little shadow on the top of
It's
my head.
a little shadow. You sucking your thumb?
No, I'm doing the
Oh,
thoughtful
well, you can't see your
pose.
thumb, so it looks like it might be in your mouth.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm sucking my thumb.
Kaylee says she's jealous of the cool glasses. I'm jealous too. We just want to be like you, Chris. That's all it is.
Yeah, you know
We,
those nice little thin wireframe glasses.
yeah, look at them. I love it.
Oh no, okay.
Oh
I
my
think there's
gosh, I
another
love
one
it.
in here. Let me
We
see.
should probably start
We
because we're
probably
not
should.
actually. I guess this could be like a bonus episode because we haven't actually gotten on track. We haven't even done our clap yet.
We haven't done anything. Yeah. This is
Okay,
the
let's
last
do
one. Here we
this.
go. This is my last graduation photo. This is a better one.
Oh, who is that?
This is my friend JP.
Oh,
They live right across the street.
he's the one that closed the door on you.
No, his brother did. His brother locked us outside.
JP's a jerk. I mean, JP's brother is a jerk.
Okay. All right. We can get started
Okay.
now. All
Okay,
right. Let me
let's
get this out
clap.
of here. Okay.
Okay, ready?
Ready?
Yes. We do 1, 2, 3. Clap after
Clap.
3.
All right.
Ready?
1, 2, 3, clap.
Okay.
Got it.
Yay!
Locked
Here
in.
we go.
All right, let me get the stuff out of the way here. I got too much stuff on the screen here.
Surely that
it
is a creepy picture.
little tiny hand clap.
Okay.
Okay.
Are you
All right,
ready?
so
You're
it's me,
starting
right?
off. Yeah, you take it away.
Oh my god. Okay. I gotta get myself mentally prepared for this story.
Oh, I'm so excited. I feel like I'll make fun of you.
Stretch. Get ready. So, Allison, we kind of already talked about one of my camp stories. I told you about my very embarrassing situation, and it just unlocked a flood of new memories of more embarrassing things that happened to me at camp that I kind of, I guess, locked away.
I'm so excited.
And so I went apparently you didn't do this in Texas, but in California, it was pretty common for a lot of kids in elementary school, their 6th grade year, to go to a camp, like right before summer break. And it was like, I think it was like a week long. We were at this like random deserty dude ranch looking place. It was cool. And I remember the last day, everyone was sad because camp was over and we're all like running around. I don't know if we're playing tag or what. We're just running around this facility and, you know, hopping over fences, like the little like wooden fences they have. Like you're just having fun. So I remember, I was like, oh, I'm going to hop over this fence. It's like those ones that are made out of logs, you know, it's like the log fence. You've seen those before, right?
Yeah, I mean, I do live in Texas.
Yeah, you guys got tumbleweeds and armadillos rolling down the streets.
Horses.
Horses. And so I was like, I'm going to hop over this fence. You know, I'm cool. So I hop over this fence, right? And I don't have no idea how this happened. But as I was hopping over, I guess there's like little screws, you know, holding the fence together. The shoelace, like not the loop part of the shoelace, but like the part weaved through the shoe caught on the screw. And so I'm hopping over the fence, and next thing I know, I'm like, oh, my leg isn't following me. And I tumble over and fall to the ground. So now my back is flat on the ground.
Oh
my one leg is up in the air, still attached to the fence. And the fence was maybe, I don't know how high it was, maybe like 4 feet high. It was like not super high, but high enough that my leg was dangling. And you know, I wasn't like super athletic. So I'm sitting there trying to reach my foot to free it. I'm trying to reach up to unhook my shoelace, and I couldn't lift my body up for long enough and hold it to unhook my shoe because all my weight was pulling it tight against the screw. And I just laid there, and I just kind of, after a point, I just gave up, and I was like, I'm just going to be stuck here forever. So I just resigned that I was going to live at this ranch on the ground for the rest of my life because I couldn't unhook my shoe. And eventually, some kind kid walked by and unhooked my leg, and I was able to pretend like I wasn't on the ground for like 5 minutes stuck on this fence. Hey, this is Chris.
And this is Allison, and you're listening to... This is awkward. Why did you not remove your shoe? Why didn't you take your foot out of your shoe? I'm sitting here the whole time wondering, why didn't you literally slip your foot out of your sneaker, out of your shoe?
Look, Allison, I was prepared for all athletic activities. I tied my shoe tight. It was taut. I wasn't going to sprain my ankle again. My shoe was so tight. My shoe was so tight that I couldn't just slip my foot out of it. So I couldn't slip my foot out.
You could have.
No, I couldn't. I could not. I couldn't just. Have you ever tied your shoe tight and tried to slip your foot out? You can't do it.
Maybe you lacked the proper leg strength.
I lacked all strength. I couldn't free myself at all.
Oh my gosh. Did people laugh at you? Like, did they stand and point and laugh? Because I'm picturing like all of these other people like going and jumping over the fence right after you. You know, they're all chasing and then they all stop and just point and laugh. Is that what
People
they
were
did?
laughing for sure, but no one stood over me and laughed. But I know people laughed. They ran by and laughed.
Yeah. I mean, they like, because I'm picturing you like, it's almost like a hurdle, right? It's like you're running hurdles in track, but instead it's a log fence and everyone else is running and jumping over like swiftly and gracefully, easily.
Like
And then there's
gazelles.
Chris. Yeah,
So
they're like gazelles, and you're like this.
So
I
this
just,
this this isn't like, it was a pretty big fence. Like it wasn't super high. You had to climb over it, but you had to like get up. Like you would probably needed a ladder, but I was able to kind of like throw my leg over it and kind of like swing. But I guess as I swung my leg over, I hooked my shoelace, and I was just stuck. I was just stuck dangling.
I in that moment, like, did you go home and were you like, I need to do some squats and some sit-ups? Like, did that ever cross your mind? Were you ever like, this has got to change?
I don't know
Or
if that was
no?
a tipping point. It took a couple years before I was like, maybe I should get in shape. But I, for sure, the thing that helped me, the thing that kept me from dying of embarrassment was that, oh, this is sixth grade camp right before summer. I will not be seeing any of these people
Oh, that's
ever
really
again.
helpful.
Because
Ever?
this camp was like full of kids from other
Oh,
schools
I
and then
see what
our
you're
school.
saying.
And I went to
Okay.
this small, really tiny school that was not part of the school district I went to high school at. So
Okay.
I didn't have to, those people, I think maybe like one or two people from that school ended up going to where I went. So I was like, I was good. No one's gonna know this happened to me.
Oh, but someone sits around their table at Thanksgiving telling funny stories, and there's someone that said, "Man, I went to this camp in sixth grade, and I saw this kid try to jump a fence, and he got stuck and just lay there." Like, there's
Oh
someone is
yeah.
out there telling this story, and they're giving this lesson as they're teaching this to their kids. This is why you don't ever try to jump a fence, son, because you don't know what's going to happen, right? Like, that's like, this is
I'm
what's
happy I'm a
happening.
life lesson.
You are a life lesson for people.
I've saved a lot of kids from that embarrassment. So if that's all that came from this, I'm happy I did my part. Okay.
Yeah. Well, that's definitely awkward. And I'm so, so happy that you went back into the deep, dark places of your memories and you pulled out this story to share it for truly our enjoyment, right? And that's what we do
You're
here.
welcome.
We talk about awkward situations that you might find yourself in, namely situations with money. But this might be my favorite part of the episode.
Yeah, and it doesn't have to just be about me embarrassing myself, as I do so often at the start of these podcast episodes. You can also be a part of what we do here, and that's what makes the show great. And that's what we will ultimately be discussing here on the show. So if you want to be a part of a future episode and share your awkward story with us, you can give us a call at 707-200-8259, or you can send us a DM over on Instagram. Just look for at Popcorn Finance at This Is Awkward Podcast, because that's the podcast we're doing right now.
That's this one. And anyway, today's awkward story is really, really good. This person actually went to our website, which is www.
Hold on.
What?
Why did you start it with www?
Because that's what people type in, no?
That's what people who are 80 years old type in. You do not need to type www before a website.
You always tell me I'm 84. This is very fitting for me.
So do you like when you're like, oh, I want to watch this YouTube video? www.youtube.com. Is that what you type in?
Sometimes.
Oh my God.
I even put that in my Instagram captions. Should I not have the www in front of it?
You do not need to put www in front of
How do
websites
they
anymore.
know? What if
It's been like that for years, maybe decades at this point. I don't know how long, but you do not need to put that in front of websites.
Well, like, I know that I don't have to go to a website, but if I'm telling someone to go to my website, you don't say like www.inspiredbudget.com. Is this not a thing?
That is not what you need to do. Oh my. Oh.
Well,
Oh.
I feel like a little embarrassed. I'm not going to lie to you.
As you should. As you should.
Anyway, this person, going back to this person submitted their website by going to
They submitted their call. They
what did I say?
Their message. You said they submitted their website. It's okay. You tried.
They submitted their story, their awkward story, by going to awkwardpodcast.com, which will also take you to www.awkwardpodcast.com. And it is so good. It is about a relationship that once they broke up, one person sent the other person an itemized receipt for everything that they owe them. It's good.
This is going to be a good one.
It
But
is.
you know what? It's okay. You recovered. You brought yourself back.
I am. I had no idea about this www thing. It's in all my Instagram captions. Like, you want to sign up for my free budget class? Go to www. I'm like, oh my gosh.
Look, there's a lot of things that we don't know about, right? You don't know until someone tells you, like I told you. And look, a lot of people don't know that we have a Patreon. And so that's why I'm going to tell them right now that we have a Patreon that you can join. You can get all kinds of bonus content. Allison, why don't you tell them about the bonus content?
Oh, well, in the bonus content, I typically don't embarrass myself this much. However, the bonus content has so many amazing things. It's where Chris and I talk even more openly just about things going on in life, things going on in the world. We actually are already planning out our bonus content for the summertime, because I don't know if you know this, but we're taking the whole month of June off for our regular episodes. However, we are still putting out bonus Patreon episodes 2 every single month. And this one's going to be good because we're going to have an awards ceremony this summer.
Yes. I'm so excited about this
ceremony. So we're going to be able to do that. You also have the ability to jump in Discord, watch us live whenever we do the episodes. We talk back and forth. You can tell us what you're loving. It's really great. It's really fun. And, you know, they say to surround yourself with things that lift you up, right? One of the ways that we can truly find joy and contentment in our life is to make sure that the people we're spending time with, the content that we're consuming is very uplifting. And that's exactly what this Patreon is. So to help find more joy in your own life, go to Patreon, www.patreon.com/This Is Awkward Podcast, or click the link in the show notes.
The www is very important. Please don't forget that part. So on that note, let's take a quick break. But when we come back, we're going to hop into our awkward story. Oh, Allison, you're so old. Michelle said www.
Reminds me of WWF?
WWF?
WWF. Yeah.
WWE.
WWF. Oh, have I ever told the awkward story about when I found out that WWF was fake?
No, I don't think you've told this story.
The moment okay, I'm gonna add it to my list. Let me add it to
Please
my
do.
list.
Please do.
Add it to my list.
You know, I've been on. So me and my friend Logan, who I talk about a lot on here, we've been rewatching. Actually, we've been rewatching old WWE pay-per-views.
Yes, because this is what you do when you have no children. Go on.
So we've been watching old WWE pay-per-views, and then I started watching on YouTube these like background, like these like behind the history of different wrestler videos. I'm like, oh, this is fascinating.
You have way too much time if this is what you were consuming. What was I writing down again? Oh yeah, WWF.
Yeah, Michelle, I'm so sorry. Allison ruined it for you that WWF is fake. It's not fake, you know, it's just, you know, they may have a storyline they have to keep to, but you know, the action is real. The pain is real.
You know what I'm reading? I have this list of awkward stories for me to pull from. And one of them says, Bob and John in Mexico at the pool. This one I was with Caroline and Jen, and I don't remember what this is about.
You were clearly impaired when you wrote that note to yourself.
Bob and John in Mexico at the pool. I'm going to have to ask Caroline and Jen what happened with Bob and John at the pool in Mexico.
Oh, man.
I don't remember this.
Do you want to bring us back from the break?
Yeah.
Well, who's reading this? Am I reading or are you reading it?
I wanted to read it, so you bring us back. Let's do this.
Sorry, I was drinking water. Okay. All right, Allison, I am very excited to hop into this awkward story. So why don't you get us started? Why don't you tell us what's going on?
Okay, let me zoom in on this so I can increase the font size on my computer. Okay, here's what it says. My significant... to put on my reading glasses.
Put those readers on, Allison.
Okay. My significant other and I were together for 8 years and sadly decided to go our separate ways earlier this year. A year and a half into our relationship, I purchased a home solely in my name and covered all associated costs, the down payment, inspection, etc., that we both moved into and lived in for a majority of our relationship. To provide some context, we both have good jobs, with him earning slightly more than me. I'm in my late 30s and he is in his mid 50s. We differ quite greatly on how we handle money. He's spendy and I'm a saver and chose to keep our finances completely separate for the duration of our relationship. We split all household bills 50-50. During our time in the home, we refreshed or upgraded a majority of the spaces. I would fund major projects and he would offer to take on smaller pieces of the project as a mechanism to contribute within his as a way to contribute within his budget. For example, during the pandemic, I decided to upgrade our family room. I purchased new furniture, carpet, fireplace surround, and he had the room painted. And had the room painted. My significant other bought a new ceiling fan and installed new light switches and outlets. When we decided to go our separate ways, he sent me an email with an itemized list, which was effectively his credit card history from a big box hardware store, detailing every can of paint, outlet cover, and plant he purchased, asking me to reimburse him for the expense without taking into account depreciation and normal wear and tear that occurs over 6.5 years, as well as projects and items he chose to purchase on his own accord based on his comfort and aesthetic, some of which I would have chosen differently. I hope I'm not ever in a similar situation again, but I am dying to know how Chris and Allison would handle this situation. I ended up paying him 1/3 of the amount he was asking for, which he was not happy about, but accepted.
Oh, there is a
Oh
lot
my
going on
gosh.
in that situation.
You know what? I feel like I missed an opportunity because I'm like, I should have sent my ex-boyfriend from college, who was incredibly unhealthy, the receipts from my therapy sessions. Like, wow. Like she got an itemized bill.
I want to know how detailed was it? Was it like an invoice? Was it like really
It was
formal?
an invoice. Oh, I hope so.
Okay, you know what? You did the work of reading that. I think you deserve to have the first say in this one.
Okay, here's what I have to say. I have to say, and I made sure that when I was thinking about this as I was reading through it, he said that it was shortly after, right? I think this is someone got their feelings hurt.
Oh yeah.
And they are reacting, obviously they're reacting emotionally. And to me, this has less to do about her. It has more to do about him and how he's choosing to deal with it. And this just sounds like someone angry. Like it sounds like he is mad. Maybe, I don't know who broke up with who. I don't know any of that. But regardless, to me, it sounds like he is bitter and mad. And he was just like, whoa, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to show her. I'm going to get back my money I put into her house, right? That to me is like bitterness.
Yeah. Yep.
Because if you do that in like an apartment that you're leasing, if you like paint the walls, you have to then go buy more paint and paint over those walls. Like you buy 2 things of paint, So it's.
So you said he should have gone in there and like taken all the things he added and put in the replacement back in his place.
Well, no, not that, but like to me, I think that this she says he does well with money. So if it's not a need financially, then I think it was a need emotionally for him to respond and almost just like a dig. Like, I'm going to make you pay me money. That's how I feel about it. What do you feel? What do you have to say?
Now, one thing I wished I knew was because she said that she bought this house. She bought it. So she said, I bought it solely in my name, covered all associated costs, down payment, inspection, etc.
Yep.
I want to know, was he paying her rent while he was in there?
I would think so. We split all household bills 50-50.
So I'm assuming, right? So he was paying, something to her to be living in the house. I hope so.
Yeah, I would think that means that they were splitting the mortgage payment 50-50. That's how I would take it.
Okay, because I'm thinking like but it's not his house. His name is not on the mortgage, on the deed. He has no ownership in this house.
No.
And it sounds like she didn't ask him to do any of these renovations. It sounds like maybe he just wanted to do them. Like
maybe.
Because she said she financed all the other renovations that she wanted to do to the house, and he did some small things, some small projects.
Yeah. I like what Michelle just said.
What did Michelle say?
You can put it up there. She says she should counter him with a bill for reverting the house back to good taste, like a security deposit. Like she could be like, okay, yeah, you lost your security deposit. You have a security deposit. Like our last apartment before we moved into our first house, we didn't get our security deposit back because the carpet had to be replaced. You know?
She could say, look, I had to live in this ugly house because of the things you did. So reimburse me for the fact that I have to put it back to something pleasing to my eyes.
Yes, except she was mature.
Yeah.
and decided not to do that. Like, to me, it just sounds like someone got their feelings really hurt
Hmm.
and he, you know, decided to do something very, very creative, I will say.
Now I want to ask you. So I think oftentimes we're kind of hesitant to talk about money like in a formal sense when it's like someone you care about, right? Like you don't want to treat your relationship like it's a contract, right? Like you're in a business
Mhm.
agreement. But with something like this is what could happen, right? There's
Yep.
potential for these issues when you separate. How do you divide up everything? How do you handle all the financial
Mm.
things you've built together? Especially because it didn't sound like they were married. I don't think she mentioned that they were married. I think
No,
she thought
they
they
were
were
not.
just together.
Yeah. No,
So,
they were just
what are your
together for
thoughts
8 years.
on like if you're a couple, you're not married, but you decided to live together? How do you handle the agreeing on what happens if you were to break up? Like, do you have some type of agreement in place? Do you sign something? Like, what are your thoughts on that type approaching it
Well,
that way?
so Matt and I lived together before we were married. We moved in together before we were married, and we didn't have an agreement in place because, hello, we didn't talk about money. But
Yeah.
I remember one of the things, I think maybe it was my mom or someone said, "What are you going to do if you break up?" So
Mm,
what I wanted to do was I wanted only his name, only one person's name to be on the lease. Because like what do you do if you break up? You have two people on the lease, right?
mm,
But he was adamant, no, we're both going to be on the lease. So we were both on the lease, but we weren't engaged when we moved in together, but we were headed that way. And I think that that's definitely really it's something you have to think about, and it's depressing to think about, right?
yeah.
It's like
Right.
you're thinking about something like, oh, it's destined to fail when you don't want
Exactly.
to think. And so that's how I was thinking, but Matt was like, no, we're destined to work, right? So it's hard, it's a necessary thing, I think, for you to think about, but it could be hard to actually talk about. Um,
Yeah. Yeah.
so I think just like number one, going into a relationship, knowing that you're not doing this because you don't want it to work. You're doing this for protection because you don't
Mm.
know what life offers. What if like one of you dies? Then I don't know, like there's, like what if that happens? I don't know, but it's not, you don't go into it hoping it, but I think that that's how it's taken.
Mm.
I guess. I don't know. What do you think?
I think that what is at odds is the way you have to treat a relationship versus the way you treat your finances. Because like
Mm-hmm.
for the relationship, I think you often go in with this optimistic view, right? Like
Of
you
course.
think you don't go in thinking, oh, this is going to end, in the next 6 weeks. Like, obviously if
Yeah.
you're thinking that, it's probably going to end, right?
Right.
So you go in with this, you be optimistic for the future that things are going to work out. But with finances, you have to almost always think about what is the worst thing that could happen. What do I
Yes.
do when everything falls apart and crumbles? How do I recover? How do I make sure I can still survive if I lose my job? If all of a sudden, I can't work anymore, what do I do? If I have these huge
Yeah.
expenses that pop up that I didn't expect, and those are
So
at odds with the way you think about your relationship because you don't really view them the same way.
so you're like doom and gloom. Is this what your diary entries look like?
It's not that it's
Is
doom and
it like,
gloom.
dear diary, here's what I'm going to do when an earthquake hits. This is
It's not a doom and gloom
step
thing, but
one, stand underneath the door frame. Step two, pay my security deposit on my
no, it's just that with money, you have to think about it, right? You can't be prepared unless you've considered the possibilities. Like
hmm
life insurance isn't this would be nice to have. It's like if I died tomorrow, how
Yeah.
much money would my family need to live? Like
hmm
you have to think about those things just to be actually prepared. But in relationships, you kind of don't want to bring that energy in, right? I think
Yes.
that's what most people are like. I
Yes.
don't want to think about it that way. It's gonna be
Right.
great. We're gonna be together forever.
Which is what Matt was like for us, and I'm pretty sure how most couples are, because then that's depressing and that can lead to, what, do you not think we're going to be together? Do you
Yeah,
not think this is going to work out? And I mean, obviously they were together for 8 years. That's long. That's like marriage, that's, you're
that's a
with
long time.
someone for a long time. That was a long commitment. But I mean, do I think she should have paid it? I'm surprised she paid him a third of the amount.
Maybe
I
the way to just get him to leave her alone, basically. Like, here's a
Yeah,
third, get out of here.
it's just like, okay, just here's a payment to you to get you to shut up, kind of thing.
Yeah.
But I mean, would I have done that? No. If someone had done that to me, I would be upset. I would be like,
If
I
they
would
sent
be
you a
like, are you
bill,
serious? Yes. I'd be like, are you serious? Like, are we acting like, is this how this is going to be? Is this how you're going to be about this?
it's a petty move. It's a petty move.
It is a petty move, but I think that, when you're getting into relationships, and I did not think this necessarily when I was younger. I think just, age and experience and everything like that plays into your lessons learned, that
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
just so tricky to combine things before you're married.
it is. It
And
really
and,
is.
and for some relationships, even combining when you're married can be tricky. Um, there's reasons why people have separate finances, and I'm not against that, but I just think that, money plays such an important role in your life. You have to safeguard it and protect your finances, and do all of that, because you don't know what's going to happen.
No, you really don't. You really don't.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So I'm thinking about like, how would you approach someone? Because this is a situation where obviously they got into this relationship. They thought things were going to work out, and they didn't. They built a life together, and it didn't turn out the way they expected it to. And I'm thinking of how can you approach this to be prepared, but without, I guess, offending the other person, because that's the balance you're trying to strike. It's, I want to be prepared and I want to think through this situation financially, but I also don't want to think this person I don't want this person to think that I'm planning on dumping them at some point. So I'm just trying to protect myself.
You're
Right?
saying, like, every time you split a bill, you're not like, I'll take this one in case we break up.
You're like, let's make sure we keep our money separate, because when I leave you, I don't want you trying to take some of my money. Like, obviously you don't want to go about it
Yeah.
like that.
I mean, I think, like, to me, if I were to go back and do it differently, I would, have one name on the lease, right?
Okay, wait. I would have paused there, because I was going to say, I forgot to mention this, that when Matt mentioned that, I thought that was a good idea, because you do take the risk of one person having all the power if they're the only person with a name on the lease.
That's true.
Because technically,
That is
that's not your
true.
apartment. If you're not on the lease, you need to get up out of here.
That
Like,
is true. But then, like, to me, I was thinking, well, like, okay, if it's a year-long lease and you break up and then one person moves out, they still have to pay half of that rent. Like, what if they're like demanding half of that rent? Like, that to me would make me nervous. I guess, like, have a plan B. I don't know. That's so hard. That's so hard. I would just say, like, have very clear expectations. Like, when Matt and I lived together, we split the rent, and then we did have different bills. Like, he took me on his cell phone plan before we were married. So he could have, like, if we broke up, he could have just canceled my entire cell phone plan, taken
Yeah,
my
he could've.
number, like, everything, So, like, that wasn't necessarily wise, right? But he was like, I was getting off of my parents' plan, and he was like, this is smart. Let's get you on my plan. I'm like, are you trying to rope me in so I can't leave? No, I'm
He's
kidding.
like, I got you. You can't leave now. We're all tied together.
Yeah, but I love what Michelle said. Michelle just wrote in, my mom said, never get a place you cannot afford on your own. And that's the thing. Like, before Matt and I moved in together, it was actually going to be just his apartment. And I was looking for an apartment elsewhere. So he could afford the place on his own. I could have afforded it on my own. It wasn't a super nice, fancy apartment. It was a 1-bedroom apartment. And I think that that's really big really important to consider. Now, right now, like, when you're married, to say, like, something like, I don't know if I could afford this house payment on my own if something were to happen, so, like, that's kind of hard. But I think when you're dating and you're not in a marriage, then to, just be very careful. Just safeguard it. Safeguard your money. Like, you have to safeguard your heart, because you don't want to get screwed over. You don't want to get an itemized receipt bill.
You
in the mail.
don't. I was looking back here. Michelle also said a couple's pre-marriage. And
Pre-marriage.
I was thinking, okay, look, if you're deciding to move in together, people often think of that as like, oh, this is the next stage in our relationship. It's like growth in the commitment and connection between the two of you. But they often don't think about it's also a big step financially. And what steps should you take to secure that and be responsible about it? And I don't know, I haven't been single in a long time, so I don't know what that looks like for people these days. But I would say that it's going to be difficult. But if you're already making the difficult decision to decide to move together, you also need to incorporate some type of discussion on how things would work out, how things will be handled if they don't work out. And I mean, look, it sounds so cold to be like, well, maybe you should just have like a quick little 1-page contract and be like, look, if this doesn't work out, this is how we agree to separate things. I mean, because outside of that, there's no legal protection for you if you break up and you have to divide everything up.
We need to go see a notary. We're going to get this notarized.
But I'll take you to dinner. I'll take you to dinner afterwards, though.
Take my TV. When all this ends, you're not getting my 70-inch TV, okay? I know you're eyeing it. So we're adding that to the contract. Gosh.
I mean, I'm just saying, you kind of have to, right? Because look, if you don't make a plan,
I think you should.
You gotta deal with whatever you're stuck with at the end of the day.
I think people should lead with this on a first date.
Look, before we get to this, I brought my iPad with me. I have an NDA on here. Would you mind signing this really quickly? I don't want you talking about what's going to happen over the next several months of our relationship. Also, just list all your assets. I'll list all mine. That way we know what we had when we got into this.
Oh my gosh, no, this is awful. Oh goodness.
But I mean, even if it's something as basic as who gets to keep the apartment. But that's the thing. I don't know how you approach this without offending the other person. That's the very hard part. Like, to have these conversations, you have to have a relationship and then take it to this level. You have to have hard conversations. But I guess that means you have to pick the right person, right? You have to.
I know what you do.
Know this person.
You just say, hey, I found this really great podcast. It's called This Is Awkward. You should listen to I started on episode 50. Why don't we listen to it and have a talk about it? Then you don't have to bring it up. Boom. That's what you do.
You listen to it in the car together.
I hope this woman who wrote in sends this to her ex so that we could say, excuse me, Mr. Man, living in her house.
Moocher.
Yeah, living in her house, you're going to take the person who put a roof over your head for 8 years and send her an itemized bill. I hope my kids don't do that to me. I have to do it to my kids. I don't even know whether she should be sending you an itemized bill. Oh,
here's all the property tax I paid that you didn't contribute to.
Boom, right there. Well, I mean, that could have been included in like the mortgage with the escrow.
Yeah, I don't know about that part.
Yeah. Anyway, I think we need to wrap this part up. But basically, what we're saying is, Chris and I both don't know how to have this conversation. Good luck.
No,
I feel like that's where we land. Usually, I feel like we have something very positive and like powerful to share. And right now, I feel like we're both like, I don't know. It's going to be hard. Good luck.
Look, I think I'm willing to commit to this, and you don't want to commit to this answer, but I'm committing to it. I think if you decide to move in with someone, if you're deciding to combine your lives financially in this way, that you need to sit down and you need to at least write out a paragraph that states, hey, look, if this doesn't work out, this is how we're going to divide things up. Who will keep the apartment? Who will move? If you bought anything together, who will keep what? Just do it. It's going to suck, but it's the responsible thing to do. And
it might even end your relationship right then and there.
There's a potential. I mean, I feel like you, Allison, if Matt were to come to you when you were dating and said, hey, let's just write out an agreement in case this doesn't work out, how would you have taken that?
I was the one doing that to him.
Oh, well, yeah, you were actually.
Maybe I shouldn't be on the lease. What if it doesn't work out? Matt's like, I already got a ring picked out. Don't even worry about that. No need to worry about that. No, I mean,
I don't think I would be offended.
I don't know. I feel like I would be like, geez, do you have enough trust in our relationship? Clearly you think this is going to fail. I don't know. Here's what I want to say. You stand on that. That's fine. You get your contract. You get your notary there, your witness. What I say is just have clear boundaries. Have clear boundaries. Keep things as separate as you possibly can. Don't mix money. Your money is so important. Your financial health is important. And for you to have a healthy relationship does not mean your financial health has to mingle. That does not have to happen to have a healthy relationship. So, should he have sent her an itemized bill? I think not. Was it an emotional response? Yes. Could he have gone to therapy instead and maybe still felt a little bit better about himself and not have gone through that? Yeah.
Ooh,
Like,
you can put a little addendum to your contract, right? And it
oh
says
my
at the
gosh.
end, if I break up with you, I will have to pay for your first 3 therapy sessions. That way you can work through these emotions because I'm not giving you any money. There you go. You can add that. You can add that to your contract.
Wow. I really feel like maybe you should go on and be like the new host of the Bachelor or the Bachelorette. You could be like the new Chris Harrison because I feel like you give great advice.
Right? I'm having all of
Yeah.
them signing contracts. The moment they step on this property, like, look, you agreed to be here, so I'm gonna need you all to sign this because we're not
Chris,
giving you anything. What you
Chris,
leave, by the way.
you already have the same name as Chris Harrison. He got fired.
What
So
did why did he get fired? For
he
giving
got
bad
fired
advice.
for,
He didn't have
no,
people signing contracts like they should have been.
for racial issues.
Oh well, yeah, he needed to go then. Get him out of
Yeah.
here.
Yeah, because he was saying some stupid junk about, being essentially being racist. So we need him out. So let's replace him with a better Chris.
Yeah, I've never seen the show before, so I don't know what's happening, but
Well,
I'm
I know
sure I
what
can
you
figure it
should
out when I get there.
watch. I want you to watch Sean Lowe and Catherine, Sean Lowe's season with Catherine. Because
Who?
oh, I just told you who won. Oh no. Oh no. Don't, I
Oh,
just told you the
spoilers.
outcome.
Oh no, how will I ever get to enjoy the show knowing this information? Man. Whew. I guess
Okay,
I won't watch it now.
let's take a break. We'll be right back after this break. Oh, goodness.
Oh,
Okay, this is where we will put an ad.
yeah. It's an ad for
Okay.
something. For some water because I'm thirsty.
I'm thirsty too. That was long. We talked about that too long, Chris.
Yeah, we did go a little long on that one, so let's
Okay, let's do
let's move on
this.
to the next one. You want to bring it? How about you bring us back from the break this
Okay,
time?
here we go. Chris,
Yes.
I'm excited for our next segment. Is that what this is called? Session?
Sure. Whatever you want to call it.
This is what I like
Experience.
to call experience. It is. It's what I'm loving. It's an entire experience where you can, oh gosh, I'm lacking here because I'm seeing things outside. I'm getting distracted. But maybe those things are bringing me joy, like the flowers I recently planted outside or
Mm.
the blooming trees up
Mhm.
ahead. These things can all bring us joy. And this is our moment to share what we have been loving lately, whether it is a book, whether it is a song, whether it is an animal, whether it is a contract. We can come to you and share it with you so that maybe you too can have a little bit of extra happiness and joy in your life as well.
No, yeah, that was you. You struggled, but you got through it.
I struggled on that. When are
You
you ever
made
going
it.
to take over for
Oh,
that
maybe
one?
I might have to next time after we come back from our break. I'll take it over. That was rough. But
Oh,
Allison,
good.
would you like me to go first, or do you want to go first?
I want to go first because you were hating on what I was loving
I
before we
was
hit
hating on it.
record.
Please do. So let me switch this here. Allison, what are you loving?
Okay, here's what I originally put, and then Chris dished out so much hate that I was like, you know what, I'm doing too, because you're going to be ugly to me. I'm going to take up a little bit more time. So here's what I'm loving. I am loving, and I think it is good. And if you have a Costco membership, or if you know someone who has a Costco card like I do, and you use their card, this is what you should do. Hopefully, Costco is not listening. I can sponsor you, or I can be a brand ambassador if you're listening, and I'll get a membership myself. Anyway, it is the delicious, and I should go run to my freezer and get it. It's in the freezer section. It is this chicken cordon bleu, this Costco chicken cordon bleu. It's not Costco brand. And it's in the freezer section. Every now and then it goes on sale for $8.99. And it's a box of these individually wrapped chicken cordon bleus. And they are amazing. I throw like 4 of them right there. Boom. What is that blue box?
It's this thing here, right?
No, that's not it.
That's
one.
not it? This one?
Pierre breaded, whole breast, raw stuff. Go back.
Let me go back.
Stuffed.
It's right there.
Go back to the picture. That's not the correct one.
That's not it? Oh, this one here.
No, it was the other one. It's
This
these
one?
raw. Oh my gosh, Chris, can you
Oh,
not do
wait.
this? Yes, that
This?
one. Stop! You're making me mad.
This Barber Foods
no,
raw stuffed chicken
the
breast?
other one.
Okay, whatever. Okay, just keep going. I'll find it.
Anyway, it is amazing. It is raw and it's frozen. That one right there. And you can cook them in the oven. I cook it in the air fryer, and it's so delicious. And they're healthy. And so I actually will buy a box, and I will eat one for lunch. And then it's really like just a super easy thing to have on like in your freezer for those days that you're like, oh my gosh, I don't want to make anything. I'm coming home from work. I had planned to make this. What can I make that's easy? This is what you can make that's easy. Do my kids like it? Not really, but I'm glad they don't like it because that means there's more for me. So I don't understand why you think it's lame that I'm loving a food, because you love food all the time.
Yeah, but you're loving a frozen chicken thing from Costco. I was like, Allison, you can do better than this. You can do better than this.
What I'm loving. I get
segments.
excited about these going on sale, and I'll get 2 boxes at a time. You should not be the decider of whether what I'm loving is worthy or not. See, you're trying to take this like. You're trying to just be this like controlling dictator over like, Allison, what you're loving isn't good enough for the show, and it's like, it doesn't matter. It's about if I think it's good enough and if it's what I'm loving. And this is what I'm loving. And you know what? I was going to talk about something else, but I'm not going to. I'm deleting
You're gonna
it
keep
out
talking
of the
about
spreadsheet
this
because I think it is so good. Matt likes it. My kids, I don't want them to eat it. Because I don't want them eating my food. I'll cook them a hot dog or something simple, chicken nuggets or something instead. But it's so great. You get this, you get a bag of like frozen vegetables or something you can throw in the oven for a quick side. Boom, dinner is done. And there's like no cleanup, barely any cleanup, but barely any work. That's what I'm loving. Easy dinner. Everyone should get it. It's called Pierre breaded whole breast filet, raw stuffed chicken breast, cordon bleu.
So is it raw? That mean it's like it's uncooked, right? You can't put this in the microwave,
uncooked.
right?
You can't put it in the microwave. You have to cook it. So I cook it in the air fryer because it shortens the time. I think if you cook it in the oven, it's like 40 minutes. And it's frozen. You cook it frozen. You throw it in frozen. It's like they're individually wrapped. It's like I'll pull out like one for lunch, and that's what I eat. And in my air fryer. Okay. It's amazing.
All right, I won't hate anymore on your Costco chicken cordon bleu.
Yeah, because you feel bad.
I don't feel bad because I went into the show note. I went to our outline and I saw Costco chicken cordon bleu. I was like, what is this?
Yeah, okay. And then he was like, "Come on, Allison, don't you have anything better than that?" And I was like, "Better than this? This is amazing." And then you just continued to hate.
I did hate. I hated for a while, but it's well deserved. You hate on me so often. I think the least.
I thought you were about to insult the chicken cordon bleu again.
I've insulted that enough already.
That's what I'm loving.
Oh, okay. Now, on to what I'm loving, which you can't hate on this because you're gonna look horrible if you hate on this.
I'm not gonna hate on this because I'm nice, and I realize that you can love whatever you want, and it's okay if I don't love it too.
It's very, very grown up.
You should try it. There. You're even a month older than me. This should be like, you should be more mature.
As your senior, I will learn from you on this one. But what I'm loving is I got to babysit my niece for the first time on Tuesday. So my brother and his wife, they went to go see Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, which I'm sure will be what I'm loving next week after I go watch it. Mm-hmm. And my dad, I don't think he trusted himself to watch a small baby. So look, don't worry.
How old is she? 3 months old?
4 months. 5 months.
4 months.
I guess 4.5. 4.5.
Okay.
And I was like, look, I'll come over to your house and we'll watch her together. So me and my dad got to babysit my niece, and it was really fun. It was so my mom's a baby hog. When she's there, my mom just got her. No one can get to her because my mom was like, I'm holding this baby for as long as they're here. So she wasn't there because she was on a trip with a friend. So we got to hang out with her, and she's just a chill baby. She didn't cry. Aww. She's just looking around, kind of talks to you a little bit, takes it easy. She's just the calmest baby I've ever met. So that's what I was loving. How many babies
have you met?
At least like 2. And this is the calmest of those 2 babies I've ever met.
So the other baby, poor baby, at least 2. Oh my god!
But no, it was cool. It was like, I was a little nervous. Like I've never like really babysat a small baby.
And you only saw another baby, and you were like, "That baby's crazy. I'm not getting near that baby." Forget
these babies. Like, this is a different type of baby right here. Okay, so but it was like we hung out. We went for a walk outside. Yeah, it was nice. It was a good experience. So I was like,
that's
you know what?
Good.
Everyone, you should
babysit. So what are you called? Are you called Uncle Chris? What do you go by?
She can't talk, so she didn't say anything. But.
Okay, well, are you gonna like have a name that you go by?
I haven't thought about that yet. What can you be?
Well, Uncle something, but my brother goes by Tio, And my sister-in-law goes by Tia. So we have a Tio and a Tia on our side.
Well, my niece, she's half Filipino, so
Oh,
I could ask them what would be the appropriate
yes.
name.
You could, and then steal the thunder from those uncles
It's like,
who
I'm the
are
main uncle
Filipino.
here, okay?
Yeah,
I'm the main uncle.
exactly. So yeah, we have a Tio and a Tia, and then we have an uncle on the other side.
Okay, I got to talk to him. Say, all right, what's my name going to be? I want to get this figured out. So when she's ready to talk, I want her first words to be my name.
Oh, then Tio, because that's not too hard. Or instead of like it shouldn't be like, I know that usually first words are like dada or mama, so you could be like Dodo, and then that's really easy. So
I like how Dodo is what you suggested.
I don't know, because I'm thinking of like easy things for a kid to say. Dodo.
Oh, okay, I'm putting it on my list. That's what I got to figure out next. So yeah, you know what? I'm just like you. I'm chopping the other thing off. That's the only thing I'm loving this week.
Okay, that's
He's
good. We'll save the rest.
first time.
We'll save the rest for our Patreon episodes that we are going to be recording for the summertime because, like we mentioned earlier, we are taking a break for the month of June. So there will be no main feed episodes, which means that if you still want to hear This Is Awkward, then you're going to have to sign up. You can go to Patreon, www.patreon.com/thisisawkwardpodcast, or go to the link in the show notes.
And I'll throw it up here on the bottom for you all. So before we get into our final segment here and we wrap up here with the listener shout out, I want to throw in that one of the things we have planned for the patrons over the break is an not awkward. It's a What I'm Loving award show where we're going to go back over the past 6 months of the year. We're going to pick some of our favorite things that we've been loving. We're going to talk about TV shows, movies, books, and just some random things.
But like chicken.
Like chicken. If Allison's random thing wants to be this cordon bleu chicken, that could win her award. But we also want to have our patrons engage and be a part of this as well. So what we plan on doing is having our patrons give us something that they're loving, that they've loved, and then we can add that in, and we can have you just send in a voice recording. You can just send us a message, whatever you want, but we want to have you be a part of the award show as well. So I'm really looking forward to doing that.
Yes. Also, there's someone here renovating my kitchen, and they're about to cut tile or wood or something outside. So I don't know if you're about to hear a saw. Can you hear that?
Oh, no.
Okay, good. Yes, but let's get into the listener shout out.
Yeah, let's do that.
This one's very exciting.
This is a good one here. So this one comes in from Tabitha. She sent us a message on Instagram at This Is Awkward Podcast. And she said, based on your recommendations, I've recently watched all the episodes of Abbott Elementary and, I got to pause for dramatic effect here, The Ultimatum. And I was like,
yes,
The Ultimatum. You got her, Allison. And I apologize to her.
And you apologize.
I sent her a message and I said, I'm so sorry that Allison made you watch that horrible show.
It's so good. Tabitha, I hope that you were able to just sit and watch The Ultimatum and honestly just maybe feel happier about your life and your, either relationship or or whatever, just not being in one of those relationships. And I hope you were able to just like disconnect from the world's problems so you could watch The Ultimatum. Because that's what's so wonderful about reality TV. I can disconnect from the world's problems and just focus on someone else's problems for a little bit.
Watch someone else's drama unfold on the screen.
Exactly.
Yeah. But Tabitha, thank you for reaching out. We really appreciate hearing from you. And I'm happy you got one good show and then something else on there.
Another good show. I'm glad you got 2 great shows, Tabitha. So awesome.
On that note, thanks to everyone for joining us here. Thanks to our anonymous writer who sent in their awkward story over on awkwardpodcast.com. You can be like them and leave your message there.
Yes, www.awkwardpodcast.com.
That's the website.
We will be recording episodes in June for Patreon, so be sure to join us there.
Yeah, or you can give us a call, 707.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
200-8259, and you can have your voice added to the show. So yeah, this will be the last episode for the month of May, and then June we're taking a break, and like Allison said, we'll be back patron only for the rest of that month, and then we'll be back in July. So our first episode back will be on, let me look at the calendar here. I probably should have written this down somewhere. Yeah. July 6th will be our first episode back from our summer break in the main feed. So yeah,
we're gonna be a little rusty by that
a
point.
little rusty. We'll have to figure this out. I'm sure. Hope you better be as awkward as you can, Allison, on any trips you have planned in June, because
Oh
I
my
want to hear
gosh, I
about them.
cannot wait. I cannot wait. Hopefully something crazy is gonna happen, and I'll have some stories to share.
Knowing you, something crazy is going to happen.
I hope so. Okay, this was fun.
It was. All right, so we'll get out of here and we'll talk to you all soon.
Bye.
See ya.